औज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मदिन व आले मोहम्मद। अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन किराम, मैं हूँ शाहजर अब्बास। आप देख रहे हैं ख़बर बात। आज के इस खुसूसी प्रोग्राम में हम गुफ्तगू करेंगे ब्रॉडशीट केस का फ़ैसला, बरतानिया में जो एक वर्डिक्ट आया और उसके बाद पाकिस्तानी गवर्नमेंट को तकरीबन 5 अरब रुपए फ़ाइन हुआ। तो इसके बाद हमने देखा कि ब्रॉडशीट के सरबरा कवे मुसावी का मुख्तलिफ चैनल्स पे इंटरव्यू जब किया गया तो आए रोज़ कोई ना कोई इंकशाफात हो रहे हैं। तो आज हम भी कवे मुसावी के साथ इंटरव्यू करेंगे और उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपको आज का ये इंटरव्यू पसंद आएगा। चूँकि आज का ये इंटरव्यू जो है वो इंग्लिश में है, तो बस इतना ही आपसे कहूँगा कि इस वीडियो को ज़रूर देखें, अपनी आरा से नवाजें और हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें। आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Moussavi, for your time today. It's a pleasure for me to having you on my program. I have watched your interview last 3 4 days. There would have many questions and controversies raised. My first question to you: that General Pervez Musharraf and his team made a deal with you to providing a list of 200 Pakistanis, mostly politicians, including to a former Prime Minister, Mr. Nawaz Sharif and Benazir Bhutto, to investigate and find their wealth and properties. According to your agreement with them, after recovery of such assets and wealth, your company will entitle 20% the amount recovered. Is that true?
Yes.
After that, what you find against Mr. Nawaz Sharif and Benazir Bhutto?
The court judgment is quite clear. We found quite a bit of assets, and we weren't paid for it. So that's why we had to sue the government of Pakistan. If we hadn't done it, and if we had not achieved what we did, we wouldn't have won in the court in London. So we found quite a bit, yes.
In that agreement with Musharraf, the information passed by you to him will not be used for any sort of political purpose in Pakistan to strengthen Musharraf regime and to influence the politician and their party. But history depicts that Musharraf did not honor the commitment with you, and the information passed by you was used to manage the politician to support Musharraf.
Unfortunately, that's a correct interpretation that you have just made. Yes.
Do you feel embarrassed and agitated against it to Musharraf, because one side he was interested to bring money back, and the other side, NAB and Musharraf, were not interested to investigate whom joined Musharraf? Do you think that is justified?
I can't comment on what proceedings the government of Pakistan or the prosecutors are going to take against Musharraf. All I know is that a commitment was made to us and they didn't honor it, and we took the course that the law suggests. We took our case to the court and we won. We won.
All right. So what is your opinion after being used as a tool for politician victimization about NAB and other state institutions of Pakistan who are under the influence control of government and establishment?
To say I was disappointed is an understatement. I was disappointed. They came across as a spirit of trying to start making a new start. The new army government saying that we have we're not beholden to the politicians, and we're not beholden to the traditional powers that have plundered this country, and we have sufficient autonomy and power to be able to run this thing. I was profoundly disappointed that they did not keep their word.
So move next. You didn't manage to find an illegal asset of Sharif family, but still Musharraf managed to send them in exile to strengthen his regime.
Sorry, that's not a correct statement. We did find assets of the Sharif family. It is not true to say we did not find. We did find.
And similarly, you didn't manage to find illegal asset of Benazir Bhutto, and she was already self-exiled at that time. What do you think now about that?
Sorry, not true. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We did find stolen assets by Bhutto and Zardari. We did find, and we did disclose them to the government of Pakistan. So if you'd like to withdraw that comment, we can continue this conversation. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to end this conversation because it is not true. It's a misrepresentation to suggest that we did not find assets looted by the Sharifs and assets looted by Zardari Bhutto. It's a misrepresentation. So I'd like that withdrawn, please. I affirmatively state that we found assets belonging to the people of Pakistan that had been stolen by Asif Zardari, Mrs. Bhutto, and by the Nawaz Sharif family.
All right. I watched your last interviews. You also said that Shahzad Akbar, who is correspondent of NAB, nowadays, as well as that era, who was representing Musharraf, asked commission and cuts from you for your deal with Musharraf to stay in a line when you denied the government of Pakistan stopped contacting you and neglected the agreement with you, and thus you were compelled to file a suit case against them in British court.
Look, Mr. Shahzad Akbar can speak for himself. The record is quite clear. They did not honor the agreement, and I sued in the English courts, and I won.
So you have won that case?
Of course I won that case. That's why they're paying me. They didn't pay me. I had to seize the government of Pakistan's assets in London. Of course I won that case.
And you also allege, Mr. Moussavi, that a journal of Pakistan Army was involved in misuse of information provided by you by making sure that whichever account you mentioned to Pakistan government with illegal money will have no fund afterward, so that you couldn't pursue further for recovery?
I don't know if the gentleman was a general. He made out as if he was a general of Pakistan government. I don't know if it was. All I know is as soon as he made the contact and he started the conversation, I reported to the authorities. I reported to the authorities straight away.
So, can you tell us what's the general name and who contacted with you?
I don't know the name, no. But I gave the information immediately to the authorities to investigate.
It's still investigating.
I don't know if they're investigating. I'm disappointed that I never heard back. Clearly, they didn't investigate. And if they had, we wouldn't be in this position.
So what was the name of general, and do you think he also got some share of that illegal amount?
I have no idea. Because all I did is I gave the information. I said this should be investigated. They showed no interest, and that was the end of that.
All right. Mr. Moussavi, why do you think that present Prime Minister is also not interested in bringing that illegal money back to Pakistan, which is in real taxpayer money? Is he also following Musharraf's strategy to use such information only for political purpose?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I agree with that statement. I see signs that the government of Imran Khan is really trying. I see signs. I'm very sorry that we've come to this clash with the government of Pakistan, and I've won. But I would not say. I think there's a big difference. There's blue water between Imran's government and the other governments before that I was investigating, and Musharraf government, the Bhutto government, the Nawaz Sharif government, Abbasi government. I think there's a difference, but we didn't have enough time to be able to come to a conclusive decision about. I think the intentions were good. Whether they'll achieve anything, I don't know. So I can't comment beyond that. But I would not endorse the statement that the government of Khan is the same as the previous ones. I've seen enough evidence to suggest that they're trying something different.
All right. So I'm going to ask you about present government minister Shahzad Akbar. You allege that Shahzad Akbar in recent days again met you and tried to convince and negotiate with you to reduce your service charges, which were agreed in initial agreement, but you denied his request by saying that it's a looted money and you will not spare a single penny and will continue case the courts against Pakistan. Is it true?
That's not an accurate reflection of what has happened. What I've said is on the record, and I'm not going to repeat it again. Please go and see what the record says. And that is not an accurate reflection of what was bent on in the discussion between myself and Mr. Shahzad Akbar. That's not. I have a court order. It has to be paid, and part of it's been paid, and the rest of it's got to be paid. End of story. I'm sorry. I asked the final question. I need to get going. I've got other things to do.
All right. I'm going to ask you the next question about Jerry James, a former employee of your company, received $1.5 million from NAB after registering new company with the name BroadSheet LC. Fake company. Do you think the NAB officials were involved in all this dubious activity and they also earn benefit out of it? What legal course you have taken regarding this matter and against whom? Against Jerry James or his collaboration in NAB as well?
Jerry James is dead. I can't sue the dead, so that's that. But I can only rest my case by saying that Sir Anthony Evans, the judge, found that the NAB had conspired with Jerry James to steal from BroadSheet. That's what they did. That's what the judge says. Who am I to second guess the judge? The judge heard thousands of pages of evidence and hundreds of hours of testimony, and he came to the conclusion that BroadSheet was a victim of a conspiracy to defraud by NAB and by the government of Pakistan.
To briefly question about Prime Minister Imran Khan. Imran Khan yesterday offered you to recommence your interrogation against corruption elite of Pakistan and also asked that you should tell clearly who became hurdle in this procedure before and due to whom you were compelled to stop it.
Imran Khan knows exactly what happened right now, and I should be pleased to provide any assistance to the government of Pakistan if I am convinced that they genuinely are seeking to restore to the people of Pakistan who employ the government of Pakistan and who are also my employers. My employers are not the government of Pakistan. My employers are the people of Pakistan. And the people of Pakistan are entitled to receive this money. And if Imran Khan wishes to do that with genuine integrity, and I have no reason to believe that he doesn't, then I should be pleased.
After all, because we are concluding now, so very last question. Are you getting any threat or offer of deal to discontinue your interview with media? If this is right, then what sort of threat or offer of deal are these and who is behind them?
I would be insulted if anybody tried to suppress the freedom of speech and the right of the people of Pakistan to hear.
Because some rumors on the media that some people are threatening you on no-color ID. So is that true?
I've been around long enough not to be frightened of threats. Okay, those who threaten me better think again and look into my background. I'm not the kind of person who gives into threats. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moussavi, for your time. Thank you.